It was just stuff I don't eat. Like, it was random. I don't know. It was just weird.
Random weird shit she doesn't eat.
Yeah, it was like...
So descriptive.
That could be anything. It could be socks. It could be mushrooms. I don't know. It could be mushrooms from socks. Who knows?
No, I don't do that.
Could be those cock weenies she was talking about. We don't know that.
The cock doggies.
Yeah, those.
They're adorable. They run around and bark at you before you cook them. I don't know. That's what I could never figure out. What the...
Do you use a slow cooker or a pressure cooker, you think?
It was a slow cooker with barbecue sauce.
All right.
Oh, they're little weenies?
Yes, but she
Really
called them
nice
cock
little
doggies.
Cocktail weenies. That's where she got that.
Oh, my God.
I don't know why I didn't think of that sooner.
Because they used to call, what is that other thing that they eat? They eat it out of the can, and they're like little sausages.
Vienna sausages?
But they weren't. They were Viennies, because they're Southern.
So, okay, hold on. Cock doggies and something that almost sounds like veins.
And Viennese sausages.
These people are
They were great.
fucking phenomenal.
Yeah, it was like middle
What is
of
wrong with the South?
Redneckville. I don't know.
Well,
It was great.
they have to put up with a lot of heat and humidity,
Yeah.
and
I think it cooks your brain a little.
yeah,
Fair enough.
and
Okay.
stupidity runs rampant. So the smart people are just like, we don't fucking care anymore. I mean, we can be generally smarter than these people without trying. So fuck it, we don't care.
But now that we've offended half the United States
Woo.
and Greece,
Yeah.
hello and welcome to a Topic a Month podcast where we take one topic a month and split it into weekly segments. This month's topic is generations, the best of generations, the worst of generations, and probably a lot of bitching in between because that's what we're good at. This week's adventure takes place in a small recording studio that is mostly a spare bedroom, but now turns out to be devoid of good production. With us tonight is our ever-reoccurring, rampantly raucous, reinvigorating, raring to reanimate, reinvent, and restore righteous reality to really roaringly resilient and robustly rude Russians, Bentley.
Holy shit, man.
That's a lot of R's.
That's a lot of them.
And he
You all
had
right?
Russians.
You need to take a breath?
Oh, God. Getting an asthma
We'll get you a
attack.
towel, man. You'll be all right.
But one cannot forget in the seat to my left is a lavishly loquacious lordess of logical logistics who lovingly lowers her ludicrous levels to literally lament her lukewarm layman, Cheri.
Yay.
Yay, you had L today.
I did have L.
Yeah,
Did you just
yeah.
go through the alphabet? I need to start paying attention.
I just kind of like pick a letter and
Oh.
then just go from there.
It's like a dartboard.
I think just a word
It is
pops out in
pretty
his
much.
head, and he's like, I need more.
Yeah, that's kind of it. So, yeah, we're on generations. 2 out of 3 of us have not prepared.
Let's see if you can figure out which ones.
What?
Not you. You know. Don't cheat.
I have a notebook
Well, shit. There that goes.
from 3 in the morning, so this will be really good.
Oh, good.
Oh, this is going to be filled with random. So we're doing generations. We did kind of cover pretty much everything from the last one. We did it in steps, and we just kind of like threw words at each generation. So let's see if we can be a little bit more descriptive upon each one, if we can, because it's obvious you have notes.
Well, one thing,
Kinda.
since you did mention the last one, you guys, it took you a bit to get there, but you hit on it. I believe it was millennials when you were trying to figure out how to figure out who's there and why, like, our age would be considered that. It's because they were graduating around the millennium.
Right.
So that's why they
Yeah.
had that cut off. But
That's-
like the
yeah.
beginning of the last one, you guys were like, this is stupid. Why the fuck is it going this far back? I agree with you. I hate being labeled that.
Uh-huh.
I mean,
I got a rant about that in here.
I don't mind being labeled a millennial because technically I am. I'm right on the cusp. I'm 85. But at the same time,
Oh,
it's...
you look so young.
You fucking completely derailed him. He's not used to compliments.
Well, 85. I mean, I
If
had no
Alan was
idea.
here, he'd be talking about his cock. He's not used to this. You got to ease him into that.
Oh,
That's
sorry.
strange.
And you have a beautiful cock, I've heard.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Well, all right.
I do my best.
Doesn't look 85 either. That's what Al says.
Well, shit.
Too far. Okay, go ahead.
No, not too far. No, that's all right.
Like
what
a
we're used to.
wrinkly old corn dog.
And the balls that are down at your ankles.
Oh, you don't know it, but she calls you cock doggy. Just saying. Throwing that out there.
Like, I don't mind being called a millennial. I am a millennial. But at the same time, like, it's the connotations that go behind that. Like, wow, millennials this, millennials that. No. It's a small group of fucking people that you just tend to see because you're a piece of shit. Like, don't group everybody into this one subsection.
Honestly, I kind of
Fuck
feel
off.
like it should be split in half at this point. Because you have the older ones like us, where we didn't grow up with this all the time, where the internet was something you had to dial into and it didn't always work, and you know, you didn't have all the knowledge. You did still have to work for stuff more than you do now. I'm lazy as fuck now that I can just open my phone and be like, what the fuck is the answer to this? Mm-hmm. But I feel like they could have cut that one in half by now because of that. Because you do have the younger ones that just want the instant gratification. They just want it now and they don't know any other way.
The Generation Zs?
Yeah,
Sure.
but I mean, that's kind of okay. I mean, you have all this information at your fingertips.
Right.
Like in our parents' generation, they would have to well, no, I want to know what this is. I gotta go to the library and read fucking books. I can't just all right, well, who was the dictator of Vietnam during this time?
Right.
Now I know. It's not just I gotta make an event out of it.
And like that's how Guinness came around, the world records, because it was bar bets.
Right.
And they couldn't just look it up. That book never would have happened, and it never would have become the thing it is if they'd have been able to just be like, all right, well, the oldest such and such is this.
Yeah, done.
Yeah.
So, and I don't knock them for having the technology to look at that. I love having that.
Oh, fuck.
It's just the stuff that seems to go along with that, with them being able to do that quick. There's no patience for anything else.
Right. Yeah, they want customer service now. They don't want to stand in a line. They don't want. That's the frustrating part. Is there's no interpersonal communication anymore because it's all in the phone.
Yeah.
So.
Like
that
when
part's
I walk
frustrating.
into the bank and I see that they have to have a sign up that says "Put your phone away or we're not helping you." That's fucking ridiculous.
Oh, well, that's assuming anyone looks up from their phone to read the sign.
That's
Well,
true.
that day, I think that goes for pretty much every generation because I'll see people that are in their 50s and 60s doing the same fucking
Oh
thing.
yeah, no, I'm not. That's not just a generation thing. That's,
Okay.
Everybody does. I mean, the 50s and 60s, they're probably still trying to figure out the text they started that morning. So I'm not going to stop
Right.
them.
They're still using T9 on
Yeah.
their flip phone.
They're like, fuck, no.
Well, and that's the thing.
Oh, I
though.
misspelled a word. I got to start over.
Yeah.
So when
yeah.
you say they should have split it up, so it depends on where you research the generations.
Yeah.
So they're saying that Psychology Today, whatever, is saying that Generation X actually goes to 1980, and if you add 3 years either way, so the Generation Xers
I was
are
told
the
there'd be no
sandwich-
math.
are the sandwich generation, though because of that. Yeah, well, there's sorry.
we lied.
Add
No
or
mathing.
subtract.
Stop
Fuck
mathing.
this shit. I'm out.
Because originally,
I'm going to go fucking get Heisman. He can deal with this. I will deal with that.
Oh boy,
Not really. I wouldn't want to do that.
Yeah, because originally Generation X was stopped at 1976. So
Yeah.
now they're saying Generation Xers are the sandwich generation, and they can stop around 1980, which is
So that's why we're fat? We're the sandwich generation? What the hell?
Yes.
What, I don't even understand what that means. Well, we're just going to sandwich it in right here. Is it kind of like the lucky generation that was born between 25 and 42 that just didn't...
didn't do anything?
Well, they didn't have to go to war. They
Yeah.
got lucky because they were born in that weird time where they
Right.
just skipped war
Yeah. Boy, that-
altogether.
No, it's so when I was looking stuff up, and I used to teach a class on generations on how to deal with us all,
Holy shit.
right? Because
She did the religious stuff, and she was like, yeah, I went to school for this when we had the religion one. Now she taught a class on this?
well, for the Marine Corps, because you can't handle these idiots.
Oh, God,
the
yeah.
kids, the young junior Marines are running around
man.
I want my cell phone. Why can't I have my cell phone? And
Oh, man.
the seasoned Marines are like, get the fuck off your cell phone! I'm taking it away. It's in
The
a box.
seasoned guys are
they
like, I
can't
wish I
take
could
it.
still beat you.
Yeah, basically. So there was this whole thing, and all they gave us funding. So Headquarters Marine
Holy
Corps
shit.
gave us funding to teach a class to Marines on how to deal with millennials.
Oh,
Fuck,
fuck, I wish I could have
That's
seen that.
weird to
Well,
me.
because they couldn't handle it, and then they were the ones screaming hazing when they'd get their ass beat because they're doing stupid shit that they're not supposed to do.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was like a whole. It was a movement in the Marine Corps, right before I left. So
That's hilarious.
strange to me.
Yeah.
I
well, there's
honestly
whole
haven't.
companies that
Oh, yeah.
market to big corporations to teach leaders how to deal with our generation.
Yeah, I've seen different town halls at work. They've had that
Yep.
where it's just been how to communicate effectively to millennials.
Yeah, because we communicate
ridiculous.
differently than traditionalists and baby boomers because we like technology, and they lump you into this category that just pisses me off.
It's basically how do I spoon fed them the shit that the other people would have
Right.
just ate.
How do I get them to actually do this?
Yeah, I'll trick
Yeah.
them into it.
Right. Yeah.
I really
It's
wish I could have
ridiculous.
seen that Marine thing though. I've met
Oh, it's-
so many of
it's
them. And,
something.
oh my god! I can just imagine the one guy in the back of the room, arms crossed, just pissed the whole time.
Yeah, because sergeants major and first sergeants and even colonels are like, yeah, fuck you, we're still going to beat them for having their phone. Like, we don't know. That's not a thing. Yeah, old school Marine Corps. Yeah. So, yeah, it was...
What do you mean they can videotape us on that goddamn thing? Give me that, you motherfucker!
Yeah.
It's just
Well,
bizarre to me.
right.
I don't know.
Oh, yeah. Well, you got to learn how to get along with some warm, fuzzy new Marine Corps. Ugh. Anyway.
That's weird to me.
Yeah.
would think
It's
that if-
little fuzzy bunnies in pink tutus. We had a whole cadence about it. It was really offensive. Anyway.
I bet it was.
Be in the Marines. You should probably understand it's the fucking Marines. Like,
Think.
you are there for one purpose,
Uh-huh.
and that's it.
Yeah.
How? This isn't like going to fucking camp.
Well, if you talk to
Some of them probably
It's
think
not
it is.
like a lifestyle choice. Like, well, this is your career now.
They looked at the
You're
brochures.
fucked.
They were just like, "I like the way this guy looks.
Yeah, pretty much.
He
He
looks pretty
told me
sharp.
that I could see the world.
Yeah,
This will be
I
great.
can be all that I can be. That's
Oh, wait, that's
hold on.
Army.
Damn it, other one.
That guy's
Few the
holding
proud.
the giant
That's
pizza.
what it is.
Yeah, that's not right. Never mind.
The guy's
so-
holding the giant pizza.
Have you
Is that
never,
what-
yeah.
I have not.
Oh God, I'll send you that. That's
All right.
It's awesome. It's like this army guys, and it's everything. I'll send it to you. It's fine.
Okay.
So no, but so the Generation Xers, they're claiming, right, are the latchkey kids. So remember when they originally called us the latchkey kids, and then they were like, oh no, they're not the latchkey kids because they're entitled and assholes and blah blah. So now the millennials aren't that. So they had to like change the window because millennials are the assholes who are entitled to everything. Thank you very much, society. And now Gen X is like this itty bitty slice of sandwich latchkey kids, and they're looking for a, life work balance, and they're all like, ooh, I don't know. It just bugged the shit out of me. I'm like, I look for life work balance. Fuck
Yeah,
you.
who doesn't look for life
Right?
work balance?
Yeah, apparently not the millennials. We're just entitled pricks. I don't know. It just I hate being shoved into that category.
Something else I really don't understand is we think we're entitled. Okay.
To what? I was raised by traditionalists. My parents are in their 70s. Are you fucking kidding me? All I was told my whole life is, why do you think you're special? You're not different than anyone else. Why do you think you deserve that? I wasn't raised by a fucking baby boomer, okay? And this place up here is so small. This is not like a rural LA, I don't know, or this is not like a big city where everybody just has super fancy cars and lots of money. It's not a thing. If I wanted a car, I had a job.
Yeah.
My parents didn't give me a fucking car. That's not a thing here. I don't know. Like it just is so annoying going out into the world and being told, "Oh, you're a millennial, so you think you deserve everything." I never said that. Never. I've never walked into a job thinking, "I deserve this job because I'm me."
Well, and
Like what?
And with that, you got the generations before us that, you're going to have all this retirement stuff. You're going to have this. We were always told there's going to be fuck all there
Yeah.
when you retire.
Oh, yeah.
How are we entitled when we're working our asses off now?
For nothing.
Yeah, and we absolutely are. And as much as it goes, I'm sure they didn't do it on purpose.
No.
But the baby boomers generations and the older of the Gen X, they kind of fuck the millennials and the Gen Zs up hard fucking core, like super bad. And we're working for all this stuff that you guys screwed us over with.
Pretty
Yep.
much.
Come on.
Yeah.
Get with the time.
Well, and it's rare that I don't know, in high school I always had 2 jobs. I went to school.
Yeah, you worked your ass off.
I had 2 jobs, went to college and high school to finish the high school part so I could continue with the college part. Like, are you guys kidding me? Like,
I was lazy.
Like,
That was my entitled years. That was the high
but
school.
but now I don't know. I've never just thought I deserve to have whatever. Just
Oh,
because.
God, no.
I've never thought that. I've always thought if I want X, I'm going to do these steps so I can earn whatever that is, whether it's a car or a house or. I don't know where this mentality, where they think that all of us are like that. I guess, like, who are these people? Is it the younger ones of us? Am I too old? Am I on the cusp too much?
Well,
like,
I don't. How old are you? I mean, you're only what, like
29.
Yeah, that's
No,
right.
not
you
really.
are
I'm just
29.
gonna say
No.
she's my age.
Yeah, we're the same
Okay.
age.
So, like, I'm not much younger than you guys either.
Couple
like,
years.
Yeah. Like,
Yeah.
Right.
You guys are what, 34?
Sure.
Yeah.
You're
I'll take that.
29. You're 34, 35.
Fuck you.
You're 29. I'm the oldest bastard.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, even my wife's 6 years younger than me, and she doesn't think she's entitled to anything. She works her ass off.
Yep.
She's been doing a damn good job of it. And we've got a house now instead of not having a house.
Yeah.
But even like some of my cousins who are, I think she's 22, maybe 23, she works her ass off as well. She's been in school for such a long time. Like, she's got so many fucking degrees, and she's incredibly smart. She doesn't think she's really entitled about anything at all.
Right.
I just really don't understand the mindset. Like, is it because we have some more material stuff than our parents and grandparents had?
I think that's a mix of it, but I think the main reason is with this whole new technology where we can hear about somebody farting in Japan in seconds.
Which is a good app.
The vocal minority on here are the rich kids that are entitled and feel they're entitled and are getting all this stuff. I mean, if you look on like
you
like
got the
Twitter and that, and you look at actual
Kardashians and the-
people and not like companies, it's all rich people that are like, look at me, I'm out by the pool and fucking supermodels and shit.
That's fair. Yeah.
And that's
Yeah.
what everybody's seeing. They're not seeing the rest of us because we're too busy fucking working.
Right.
We don't
that's
have the
true.
capability to retire on our parents' money. We have to earn our own way.
Or we're on like Facebook, and when we're on Facebook, it's like we're locked down. We're not out there showing the world every part of our taint or anything like that, just because it's
Well,
funny and we're that rich.
I mean,
Right.
All right.
we are. We're just not rich. Let's be
Yeah.
honest.
And we're not important when we do that because we're not rich. We're just
Yeah.
Bob from down the streets got his balls out again. We're not making the news on it because it doesn't matter.
Right. And then we get charged with sexual harassment
Well,
and then we go to jail.
we make the local news then. That's
That's good enough.
Yeah.
That's a highlight. It's 15 minutes of fame.
you know.
No, I think you are right though. Like, we don't have. When was the last time you actually went out to the movie theater?
I go all the time. Me and the wife go all the time.
Oh, so you put your hobby money into that?
Yep.
Yeah, I can't do that. I mean, I put it into this and
Right.
two
Sure.
other things, but I don't have that disposable income as I see it to go out and do things like that. I can't.
Here's
just go to
the
the
difference
movies.
though between you and me with that in that regard. You have a house. I'm renting. I don't have as much worry rent-wise on what to spend on, so I have disposable income. I shouldn't, and I damn well should be saving it to get my own house. But we spend way too much on like eating out and theaters, and to that regard, yes, an older generation would look at me and my wife and be like, "Those fuckers are wasteful. They should be saving. They should be doing this. They should be doing this." But I got the money now. I got a place to live. I got a truck. I got a job. I'm
Right.
putting away for retirement, so whatever.
And at the same time, like, you would have how many jobs would have a pension 401k and built into them, like even just like hardware store bullshit.
Oh,
Like,
then yeah, I don't
you
know.
could have a job just working at your local place
Yeah.
and have a retirement for it.
Yep.
You don't fucking get that now.
Yeah, you
Whatsoever.
have to find it in certain places. Like the hotel chain I was working at, I worked there for probably into the teens for years. I want to say like 13 or 14. And they didn't get like a 401k until the last like 5 years. And then I switched to another location that they were just starting up again. So then I had to stop putting into my 401k because the new location didn't have it yet for another 6 months.
Yep.
But now where I switched up to, I mean, once you get into one of the Fortune companies, then they have it. So I'm putting fucking like 10% of my shit away every check for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. I mean, it's even then though it's hard too because then you come down to how much like wages are, like,
Yeah.
how much you can actually do that and survive with how the cost of living now,
Oh,
which
yeah.
is a hell of a lot more. But
But yeah, I mean, like you were saying, we do put money towards the hobbies like the theater and stuff like that, more than maybe you do. But it's the differences in how we are. I'm not. I don't feel I'm entitled to go to the movies. I don't feel like I am owed to go to the movies and owed to go out to eat and stuff like that. I'm just fucking lazy. I'm not cooking. The wife doesn't want to cook today, so we're going to order something.
No, it's fair. Like we do the same kind of thing, but you give somebody else a job to do. Like
Exactly.
they get to deliver whatever, or they
Yeah.
get to make whatever.
And like when we go to the theater, we spend money there. We don't just go there and like try to sneak in stuff. We buy the popcorn, we buy the stuff. We're both big people, so yeah, we're hungry. But we talk to the people. We're nice to the people. We're not just in there being dicks and acting entitled and stuff. Like the manager there is the one that was at. You went to some of the WITC.
Yeah.
Student Senate stuff. Remember the manager that was running the one in Superior that we worked through when we
Yeah.
had like student nights?
Yeah.
He's running the Duluth one now, and he still recognizes us. So we'll sit there and talk to him for like 5-10 minutes.
That's kind of cool.
You don't get that with the way that they think our generation is.
Right.
They think we're just going to come in and we're going to be like standing there 5 back and be like, why is there not 5 more fucking registers open? Why can't I just buy my ticket right fucking now? Why do I have to wait?
Which is funny because I hear that all the time from traditionalists and baby boomers.
Right?
They're the fucking impatient ones now because they're old. Fine. I get it. I get that you're older. I get that you've got a walker or whatever your
that
issue
much
is.
time left. You
But
better
damn,
hurry the fuck
well,
up.
yeah. Like,
Fuck,
I mean,
can feel him on the back of my neck.
like, but seriously, this is my parents, and now the guy I'm dating, it's his parents. Because there's a huge generation gap between his parents and my parents, because I was raised by old people. So his parents are in their like 50s, mine are in their like 70s, but they have the same mentality of give me my stuff now. Why isn't there another cashier? Like
Yeah.
his dad ranted the other day about how there's only one cashier at Sam's Club. What the fuck? He was so pissed, and in the store lost his mind. He was so loud, he offended the cashier. The only cashier, by the way, maybe you should be a little fucking nice. The only cashier who was fucking doing anything, he offended because he's like, this is ridiculous, I'm having to wait. Well, holy shit, man. It's called a line. I grew up being told you have to do that. Like, I don't know. My parents are very much like, if there's a line, you stand in it, which is half my problem because I don't know what I'm standing in line for sometimes, but there's a line, I'm going to wait. I don't know where I'm going.
You get up to the front, you're like, what? I
Oh,
don't
this
want
isn't what
that.
I
Fuck
wanted.
that.
Fuck. Yeah, but no,
Been there,
it's
yeah.
like,
God
but-
damn it, I'm in the movie for Geely? What the fuck is this bullshit?
No.
like, seriously, it's shocking now I've seen the older generation do shit like that more
Oh, yeah.
now.
My
When
mom does that all the time.
It's ridiculous. I'm
That's-
like, calm down, people. Holy fuck. If I acted like that, they'd go, no, she's a millennial. What an asshole. What?
Sherman
Yeah.
Sherman was talking about how he's working at the Walmart.
Oh,
And
yeah.
she's talking to my mom, and my mom's like, the only thought in her head
Yeah.
about
you're gonna
it
screw it up
was
for me.
something, yeah, you're going to fuck this for me.
Yep.
She says, don't fuck with the bathroom up front, because
Yep.
every time I go in there, I got to go there. And I'm like, there's a bathroom in the back. She's like, fuck that. The one up front is there.
Right. Well, and that's
Don't
the
fuck
thing.
that one up.
They call us the me,
What the
me,
hell?
me generation, right? The millennials are the me generation. Bull fucking shit, man. The baby boomers are now.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I worked in it. Oh my god. I worked
Shit. We've
in
tapped this one.
in
Oh,
a
no.
retirement facility with the traditionalists, and they're assholes.
Needed to be cleaned.
They're fucking horrible. Like, they are just like, okay, I've got 140 people in a dining room. I have 2 servers. All of my servers are running their asses off. I am a manager who is now also running my ass off trying to get 140 people food and getting screamed at. Fuck you. How about that? Go to a restaurant and yell at your waitress. That doesn't happen. You entitled motherfuckers need to back off.
No, whenever I have to complain to wait staff in a restaurant, I can just think of that movie Waiting, and I stop
Yeah,
complaining.
exactly.
I'm like,
Maybe they
I
should
don't
all
want them
watch
to
that.
touch my food after me complaining at all.
Absolutely. I don't think that a lot of people really come onto that fact. Like, when you're yelling at the cashier, you're yelling at the waiter or waitress or hostess or whatever it is, they don't care.
No.
Yeah.
Because they don't make enough money
To give a
care.
shit. Exactly.
Yeah, you want, people to give more of a fuck. You make sure that their pay is better than
Right.
minimum wage, not
Or-
working for tips.
And
if you
somehow
treat
based
them
on
better.
the performance of the place.
Right.
Like if I was working in a restaurant and if that restaurant was selling a ton of food and it was packed every night and I got bonuses for it, you better believe I'm going to make sure everybody leaves that fucking place happy.
Okay.
Yes.
Just our facility is like $2 million a year.
God damn.
And I paid my servers $10 if I was fucking lucky.
That is bullshit.
It is bullshit.
We had to fight up at work, they do pay grades. You know, company's so big, it's like, well, this is your job, this is your grade, this is your scale.
Yep.
Right.
I interviewed for one position, got hired in a different position, didn't know until like 6 months later it's a pay grade lower. And we do way fucking more work than those people in the higher pay grade.
Oh, yeah.
But the corporate people, like the HR people, refused to review this because they were like, we know what your job is. Here's what you do. And we're like, no, we do so much fucking more than that. And it took 4 years of arguing to get pushed up to the next pay grade.
Of course it is, because corporations are fucking greedy.
Yeah,
Well,
there's that.
and your leadership is delegating you additional responsibilities, which
all the fucking time.
And somewhere in the contract you signed, it's this teeny tiny print that says, or to the needs of the company. Just like, it's all bullshit
or
in there.
at will employment, too.
Yep.
That one's a fun one, too.
Yep. And that's the thing. We get screwed all the time. It was very black and white when my parents worked. It was, here are the rules. This is what you do. This is how you do your job. That was it.
Yeah, no.
If you didn't do that, you were in trouble. If you did it, you were fine. Like, and this is
fucking
bullshit.
wish it was like that.
And it's not. It's always constantly, oh, you did really good at that. Here's another thing. Oh, you did that. Here's another thing. Have another thing. Have it. Oh, you want more pay? You're funny.
I got one for you
Well-
with that. We just rolled over to a new SOP at work. You know, new guidelines.
Sure.
And the old one was really hard to read because they kept putting so much shit in it. Like, for example, the state of Louisiana wants to know if little Julie, who's 13, has maternity coverage. Do you know how much of a creep you feel like when you're calling on a 13-year-old fucking girl and you're a dude in another state and you're like, yeah, you know, I'm glad you gave me all that other information. Does she have maternity coverage? And you get that pause and you're like, I'm not likely to drive down to Louisiana and bang this chick, dude. Just tell me if the coverage is there or not.
It's not for me.
Yeah,
It's for a different penis.
It wasn't me. But so we switched over to this new SOP that's supposed to be easier, right?
Oh, no.
And every time we ask a question for clarification, we're told it's interpretation.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I can interpret this either fucking way. You're not helping me. I'm going to get an error on this. I'm not going to get a bonus because you won't get off your ass and make a fucking decision.
Yeah.
The decision's out of our department's hands now. Before, our higher-ups could figure this shit out or talk to another department just to find out if the state's okay with what we want to do. Now it's just, we talk to the other department scratches their balls until they decide something, and then they tell us it's interpretation.
Okay, so right before I left headquarters, we wrote a Marine Corps order on family readiness, right? So every battalion had to execute a family readiness plan. So every single Marine, whatever you had for a dependent, if it was a parent or a wife or a child or a wife and a child or whatever you had, anyone you claimed as a dependent had to be on this family care plan, right? So if you deploy and you die, it tells the people what to do.
Exactly what to do.
Right. Because your red and all the other crap that's already in place is not enough. That's fine. Because our families are so convoluted now. It's not.
Oh, yeah.
It's not a wife and a kid, and you live together, and
Well,
there's,
I was
like 6 ex-wives and 32 kids all around the globe. And
I was on my
you
dad's
adopted your
insurance when I
parents.
wasn't even living with him.
Well, yeah,
through that.
And you can adopt your parents to live with you, or
Yeah.
just to pay for them. So it's such a convoluted mess. Battalions can't keep the crap straight. So, who could?
Yeah.
You know, you've got thousands of Marines. God only knows
Yeah.
what's going on.
I'm hearing you explain it, and I can't keep it straight.
Right. So we had an 18-page Marine Corps order that was so fucking convoluted mess and it was all interpretation. They'd call headquarters. Well, it says I need to do this, but then like in the next paragraph it says that they can waive it if they get a signature from the CO. So can they all waive it? Because none of these kids want it.
Right?
No. You can't waive it.
But it does
But
say
it
I can.
says that I can, so our company is going to just fucking waive it.
Yep.
Okay, you're going to get in trouble.
Yeah,
Even though that's what it says. So we had to rewrite it, and then that was our answer. Whenever we took shit to our colonel, she
Yep.
would say, well, that's really open to interpretation.
Yeah.
But it's not, because then you've got a base commander in Camp Pendleton going, holy shit, this whole battalion doesn't have a family care plan.
Right?
Because they interpreted it as, well, I could waive that. And my CO was
Exactly.
like, fuck this, it's more paperwork, let's get rid of it.
Yeah, that's been my past month
That's
at
not
work.
a thing. That's not like, fuck, we rewrote it into 7-page compressed crap so you could be like, yeah, it's open to interpretation.
And-
What the fuck?
The worst part with me going through this at work now is me and another person work on an error database for our department. that basically goes into the back end of our system, and it pulls out stuff that we know is wrong. So we've had to redo all of this, and she's done most of the work. I just kind of came in and was like, this is crap. But anyway, so we had to redo all of this to make sure it was good for the new SOP. So we keep sending off emails, is this a rule? We're reading this as this. Is this right? And we kept getting just bullshit back. And so now we got this thing that we don't know that's right, that we have to do every day. It's just like, so we're telling all these people that this is all done in error, but we don't even know.
Yep.
Fucking Jesus.
This is a Fortune, 10 company.
Which is exactly why they're doing it, so they
Yeah.
can kind of fuck around for a little while and
fucking
actually figure
ridiculous.
out a problem. But there's just so much bureaucracy with it.
Yeah. Well, and I don't know. With millennials, I'm so sick of being called a millennial. You have no idea. What did they call us? Oh, this was my favorite. I found this on a website. It said that we're blog-savvy, online dating-crazed slaves to our own smart gadgets, raised by parents or by partners instead of authoritative parents. So So we grew up making the rules instead of following them. I'm sorry, where was that? Because I missed it.
No, I got one of those, the device thing. That's it.
But even that, I'm not as much of a slave to this as the kids that are younger than me.
I totally am.
And my parents are on the damn things all the fucking time now.
I don't know. I literally can't go a day without seeing somebody who's 10, 15, 20 years older than me just staring at their phone while they're driving.
Oh, yeah,
Oh,
that's
God,
super
yeah.
fun.
Driving.
Yeah,
People,
we're going to die.
You're going to run me over.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, what the fuck are you doing? Get
Yeah.
off your damn phone. It's obvious you can barely drive as it is, let alone with your phone.
Oh, yeah.
What the fuck? The stop sign means stop, you old fuck. Get off your damn phone.
Right. Yep.
But, yeah, well, I don't know.
And I've never online dated, so I'd like to put that out.
No.
I don't actually have friends my age who've online dated. I have older friends who've online dated, and I have younger friends who've online dated. So that's the thing.
I know a guy who
here.
online something, but it wasn't dating.
Right. Well, yeah. Oh God, don't even get. I had these kids at work who think that what is that one where it's just a hookup site?
Tinder.
Tinder is a dating site. So I've got this one poor
No, it
confused
isn't. It's not a fuck.
Thank you. So I have this one poor confused
Well, I
kid
mean-
who runs around chasing after these girls that are on Tinder. He meets up with them and he comes into work and he says, "I'm in love."
Oh, no.
And I'm like, "'Cause you put your dick in her? Like, what's going on?" "No, we didn't do that. We're taking it slow." "You're taking it slow? You're not on Tinder." She's not interested.
She fucking was like, she met him and was like, fuck no.
Yeah, exactly. That means she's
The
not
door
interested.
came down, it was just thump.
Pretty much. Like, I'm like, dude, no.
Oh,
Get on. If you're dating online, get on a dating site. These
Yeah.
kids are confused. He's like 20 and he's all like, I don't know.
Speaking
It's a
of-
dating site. No, it's not a dating site.
Speaking of online dating sites, every time I go downstate, you see ads for fucking it's like farmers online dating site.
Oh, yeah.
And then now there's one that we saw when we were just down there this weekend that was smart people online dating.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
It was
my
like,
God.
we don't want to be with the dumb people. We're
Right.
going to make our own.
Which is funny because I heard a comedian talk about how you've got to be with a person who's smarter than you because it makes life easier.
Yeah,
Yeah?
it does. It does. It makes life easier.
Okay.
I've gone backwards. Never mind. Go ahead. No,
You have.
Not really. No.
Yeah, that's right. I said it, man.
So the online dating thing, why? So what? Like, if you live in a small town or city of 30,000 people, okay,
Right.
that's not that big. There's people out there, but if you increase that via the internet, your prospects just tripled, quadrupled.
Yeah.
Who cares?
Well, I don't know.
What's the big deal?
Well, these are the people that, when they had their first date growing up, had to have a chaperone. They're
Well,
not going to
yeah.
like online dating.
Well,
There's too much fucking information on that. You don't need to know that until the fifth date. That's the people that are going to bitch about that.
Oh yeah. Well,
That's
and that's
fair.
exactly who was writing this article
Yeah.
was a baby boomer who was all pissed off at millennials. And the thing is, okay, yes, I've never online dated. I did meet my husband on the phone. It was not a wrong number. But it was through a friend. We didn't see each other in person for a year, and then we got married. Don't ask. And so it was insanity, but it worked for, 17 years. It was fine.
God damn, was it 17 years?
I'm
Shit.
not that old. And
I mean,
but then
a whole
what?
7,
I come,
huh?
I
Damn.
come
She would have been
home,
12.
right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's it.
But I
I
come.
like your answer better.
No,
That's weird.
I was very young. It was
So
the-
he was a
the-
pedophile.
Well, he was a generation older than me.
So he was a pedophile.
Well, yeah.
All
No,
right.
I'm kidding. No, but that's
Well,
why it worked.
That's
No,
not what we do. That's
yeah,
we don't.
that's not
So,
a thing.
so it was once she started getting older that they had problems then.
Right.
This is not getting better.
But you know
I'm
what?
going to get my ass kicked by Marine if he ever comes back up here.
He won't. So, but it was just, I don't know. And then I come home and meet a guy that I knew since middle school? I met him in like 8th grade, 7th or 8th grade.
Probably 9th.
No.
Oh, no, you would have been you'd have been at East, yeah.
Yeah.
So that would have been
So-
7th.
Right.
Because
7th
didn't
grade?
Al went to the other one?
Oh, yeah.
Because
He
the
went to
dumb kid
Central
class.
with the, well, you know.
They thought he was
Yeah.
dumb, so they sent him to the other school.
But you know what I mean? Like
Sorry,
how,
Al. You've already said it here, though. So
Yeah, that's true.
So how weird is the world? Like
Yeah.
how, and I don't think by lumping me in as a millennial and an online, if I was really online dating crazed, I would never have looked around here at all.
that's
I
true.
wouldn't have even entertained it.
Yeah.
I'd have been like, well, I got to go find some guy in Europe because that'll be fun. Like, I don't know. Like,
I'm still of the generation where when the internet came around, you had those big posters that said, "Don't say your name, don't say this." Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
there was the poster at WITC that was hilarious. That was the kid said their first name, what their mascot was, and what position they play, and then the cop showed up and was like, "I knew who you were."
yeah.
And that was their little horror story on the poster was don't say anything because people can figure this shit out. And now there's like Facebook where you put your full name on there, and that freaks me out.
Uh-huh. Well, that and people, okay. So, another super fun class. We have these kids, the Gen Zs,
Okay.
who everything has been internet since they were babies.
Yeah.
That's always like, oh, you want to do something? Play with my phone. Here, oh, it's already there. So, I have these 12-year-olds now who are like on Facebook. They've got their accounts and they're just friending anybody who requests. And oh, you want to
Yeah.
meet up? Cool. No, holy
No,
crap.
no, don't do that.
So we had a class. I know you're shocked.
Yeah,
And
completely.
we had this class where we had to talk to them about safety on the internet.
Yeah.
And it was, okay, so you're on Facebook. Here's your Facebook account. That's great. However, well, look, it's Susie, and Susie wants to be your friend. So are you going to friend Susie? Yeah, Susie was our creepy IT guy in the next room who created a fake profile and downloaded a picture of a kid
Yeah.
from the internet because you Google picture of 12-year-old girl and
Yeah.
hey, well, some weird shit'll come up and then there'll be normal like school
Yeah,
pictures.
I'm not gonna Google that. I'm gonna suggest that anyone listening not Google that
yeah,
because
I wouldn't. Well, you know what you can't Google either is
blue waffles,
children games.
children games.
Yeah,
What?
dirty, sick. I was on a government computer when I was trying to Google that. It was not good. Anyway.
Part of that could be because you were on a government computer.
Yeah, it was not good. Anyway, but like
But I'm not
so-
going to risk that by looking. So
Only one kid out of like a 20-kid class said, no, I'm not going to friend Susie because I don't know
it's
her.
fucking ridiculous, isn't
Only
it?
one. Everybody else is like, yeah, they looked at her profile. She seems great. She goes to a similar school. She's a military kid, blah,
Yeah.
blah. They all friend Susie. And, oh, great, you want to meet Susie? And in comes creepy IT guy who looks like he lives under a bridge.
One of Rhonda's sisters did that.
Oh, God.
And it was back years ago. They were between houses. And basically she was saying where she was, what she's doing, and all
Yeah.
this on MySpace. It was back before
Oh,
even
yeah.
Facebook. And we kept yelling at her, you got to stop this. We see that you're doing this. And she would lock down her friend list and be like, you can't see nothing. She still has a fake profile that I made up
Oh, jeez.
on her site. If she hasn't deactivated the site, that I was like, this is the information you're putting out there. And she was like, how the fuck do you know that? I'm like, because you don't know everybody on your friend list.
Right.
You have like 300 people on there. There's not 300 kids your age that you know.
Yep. Well, that's what drives me crazy, too, is oh, this person friended me, or, oh, I saw them once. I better friend them. Why? How about be a little
Right.
choosy about who is in your personal life? And this is baby boomers, are on Facebook because their kids think it's a great plan. they're on there. There's pictures of their home.
Yep.
There's posts about I'm going on vacation. So now I
Oh,
know what your
God.
house
Yeah.
looks like. I know where you live because it says your
I
state.
had to get on Rhonda about that because she kept trying to post shit when we were like in Madison.
Yeah, no.
And she was like, "We're hanging out down here at the Capitol," and I was like,
No.
"And everybody that knows anything about us and that's on our Facebook page knows we're out of town and 6 hours away now."
Yep, and that you cannot make it back. You're
Yeah.
just saying, rob me. Come,
Yeah.
look, here's
There's
my house. This is what it looks like. Come in and take all
Yeah.
my shit.
There's a
because
Facebook
I
group
just
that I'm
told you
on.
I'm not there.
That's basically just that.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
Who to rob?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean,
sweet.
it's all garages. It's like people are like showing their garages. This is my man cave and stuff like that. And it's
Oh,
like,
yeah.
look at my huge Snap-on toolbox. Look at this. Look at this.
at my giant
I'm gonna go to
TV.
Florida next month for a week.
Huh?
Okay, so you have this hot rod in your car or in your garage.
Yeah.
You have this big Snap-on toolbox,
That won't be there.
and you're gonna be gone for 2 weeks.
Awesome.
I'm gonna rent a U-Haul.
That's like easy
Right.
picking too.
Yeah.
Like you can literally take your time doing it. Show
Right?
up at 10 o'clock at night every single night, steal some stuff.
Someone asks, you're just like, oh, I'm just watching the house while they're out of town because you know something about them.
Right.
Yeah, just tell them their name, blah blah blah. Yeah, they're going on this vacation, so on and so forth.
It's fucking ridiculous what people put out there, though.
Yep. And it's all the time. You'd think people would learn, but they don't. Or they don't think about it. And
Or they
just-
don't care.
And are these people that innocent? Because honestly, these are the people who wouldn't let me ride my bike farther than like 3 blocks from home. But now
So
you're
fuck it, rob from them.
But now you're so innocent that you can't figure out that the world is dangerous. Really?
Oh,
Because I'm an adult now. It's not. What the fuck?
That's something that really pisses me off too about it. When they say, "Well, you can't leave your doors open anymore. You can't leave them unlocked. You can't do this. The world's getting worse." No, actually, the world is getting a fuck ton better. And it keeps getting better. Like, it might just be centralized to the U.S., Canada, UK, so on and so forth. I mean, not so much for
Sure.
places where people are dying of malnutrition.
You know,
but
like
at the same time,
North Korea might not be getting better.
hey,
think
our
it might
dear
be now,
leader
but you
is
don't know.
doing a good job, okay, with his hotel and shit that's out there.
And how many potatoes did you get to say that?
Half
All right.
of one.
Half's better than none.
Yes, sir. But it's just silly. Like, it's getting safer out there. It's not getting worse. The only reason you think it's getting worse is because you have
You have the
more-
knowledge there.
You have the knowledge there. There's more media. You
Ugh.
can see what's going on in California instantly. You can see what's going on in Florida instantly. The only thing that's changed is how fast it gets to you. That's it.
And that's
Which-
where the overload comes in
Yep,
because you
it's
can
too
see all of it.
overwhelming.
Yeah.
That's what I say to the wife all the time. I'm like, it's not worse. It's just that. It's just, 10 years ago, I wouldn't know that there was an earthquake in California until 6 o'clock when the news hits.
Right.
And that's only
Yeah.
if it's bad enough to make the national news.
Right.
Now I can fucking roll out of bed and I can set my Fitbit to tell me if there's an earthquake somewhere.
Well, and that's the thing. My parents, my mother, okay, so traditionalists who worry about everything. My mother is all like, "Oh my God, did you see this horrible thing?" Because her phone tells her all this goddamn news. I
Yeah.
need to get that off there.
Yeah.
But it's just like automatic, like news feed, and that's what she does. And then she sits there and she worries. "Oh my God, this thing happened, and it's so horrible, and all these people. Oh, geez, Mom."
And it's all bad because that's where the ratings come in
Because
from
that's the
people like that
news.
that are
It's all
paying attention to
bad.
it.
All the news is bad. It's fucking awful.
We need a
No,
lot
sometimes
more.
it's good. Sometimes there's puppies.
That's exactly what we
On
need too.
local
We
news.
need more
And
fluff.
I
Like,
think that's why cat videos and YouTube rose up as quick as they did because we
Absolutely.
weren't used to this overload on news and stuff. And people were like, oh man, everything's bad. And then they get a link from YouTube and here's some kittens.
Yeah.
it's good.
Yeah, it's fucking great.
But that's the thing, though. There's very few, except on local news, there's very few actual good news stories. Even when
Yeah.
they do these military highlight bullshit things, which just piss me right off, it's, oh, let's highlight a person from the military. No, you're telling, so it's a pity story because it's not actually like highlighting what this person is doing or what their lifestyle is. It's, oh, poor them, he's gone.
Yeah.
You know what? That's
they
his
went
fucking
through all
job.
this stuff, but they persevered.
Right, that's his job.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, that's what he chose to do. How about say all the things that are benefits from this lifestyle? There's 1,000 benefits from living that lifestyle. How about we highlight that instead of pity party that he's gone for 9 months? Oh dear God, that's what they fucking do. Like, And you don't have a wife bitching about it. It's the way the media turns it and says, "Oh, poor them, but look at them, they're so strong." No, that's their life, dumbass.
Speaking of gone for 9 months, I love every time that Facebook picks a picture where it's like, and this is the husband's first time back. He's been deployed for 9 months, and it shows, or like for a year, and it shows the pregnant wife. And everybody's like, "How the fuck does that happen?" Because nobody understands what leave is.
Yeah, right. Hello. He was
They're
home
like,
for a
he was
day.
gone for a year, and she's pregnant. It's not his.
Oh, for Christ's
And
sake.
then they'll end up persecuting the wife
Yep.
too.
Yep.
Like, what the fuck? You
Yeah.
people not understand
They
what a
don't.
vacation is?
Dude
Like,
came back for 4 days, couple days. You know what they're doing for
Right.
those days.
They're not playing cards.
Yeah.
I'm just putting that out there. There's some better fun things to do then.
Yeah. They didn't come out of the bedroom except to eat and pee.
Pretty much.
Maybe poop. Depends on what they're into.
Depends on what
oh,
they're eating.
God.
So, yeah, I don't know. It just, the media drives me absolutely crazy. Absolutely just.
That's what it's designed to do.
And it's worrying my parents. That's the thing. Like, I look at it and go, bullshit, bullshit, bullshit.
I know,
Oh,
right?
this is cute,
That's
bullshit.
something I think our generation can do a lot better than the previous generations.
Yeah.
We can pick through the crap. I don't know so much that we've seen a lot of it and we know what's good and what's bad, what sites are normally to be trusted, what sites aren't normally to be trusted, like the Onion.
Yeah.
Right. Do not take the Onion as a good news source for comedy, but not
Yeah.
like reliable stuff. Like CNN, yeah, MSNBC, yeah, Breitbart, not so much.
Fox
InfoWars,
News,
no.
Let's check that.
Twist
Yeah.
on stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think we do have a better capability to see what is good information and what is not good information.
Well, we've grown up with it.
Right.
We've grown up with that change from used to be just newspapers would get all your news. You have to trust the newspaper because what other sources of information do you have? Like also the news that's on TV. But now there's just, it's also diversified that we have to be a little more cynical in what we're looking for. We have to
Right.
be more skeptical on what the information that comes at us.
Well, and we need to be picky. Like, and that's the thing my parents don't get is like, so I will pick and choose where I watch or listen to my news. And they just see it. It's just a feed that shows up, or it's a channel that's on, like, and that's it. And then they're just sucked into this horrible vortex of like death and murder and fires, and it's all awful. I'm like, good God! And then they turn around and watch shit like NCIS and
Yeah.
like all these crime shows. I'm like, Jesus,
I
you
like-
guys are getting like, there's just so different than when I was a kid.
I looked at the wife the
Inundated
other
in.
day. She loves NCIS. She loves Law and
Yeah.
Order. She loves all that. I looked at her the other day and I said, you know what? If this was true, we were watching NCIS New Orleans
Oh, boy.
because I love watching the New Orleans one,
Yeah.
having been there. I looked at her and I was like, you realize how ridiculous this is, right? And she's like, what? And I said, well, think about it. You're a sailor. You're looking at a port. You're like, well, I could go to New Orleans where there's a murder every week.
Right.
Or I could go over here where nothing happens. Nobody's still going to go there.
Yeah. No.
It's going to be like, you got leave, you're at the airport. You're not staying.
Right.
Yeah, there's no like rationalization.
It's just like there's a dead body every day, which, I mean, some cities there is, but
Well, yeah. After Dexter in Miami, I'm like, I have no desire to go to Miami, which they already have a high crime. So I'm like,
yeah.
no, I'm good. I'm all set.
With the news thing, though, I think it's our generation is uniquely suited on this because the generation before us, like you guys were saying, they just see it. It's just news, constant news,
Yep.
news. I don't know how to filter this. The generation after us, same thing, because they've always had everything all at once.
Right.
We grew up in the generation where there was a newspaper, where there was TV, and then this was just starting out. So we know, well, that's bullshit. I don't need to know about that because I wouldn't have known about it before.
Right.
I agree.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
I think we are in a very unique situation where we've come up from having a single, maybe two sources of news to having the world at our fingertips, and we know how to parse between bullshit news and stuff that's reliable and relatable.
Or something that matters to us.
Right.
Right.
Which, relatable. Never mind.
Well, and that's
Yeah,
the thing,
yeah.
too. So if you watch other countries' news, the way... I don't know. We, in America, I don't see a lot of global news that's actually relevant.
Yeah.
Like, I see a lot of global news that pertains to us, but I don't see, like if you watch here we go. If you watch the Russian news, I'm
Oh,
sorry,
geez.
they actually talk about what's going on in other countries for real. Like France is trading, cheese with blah blah. Like it's just
BBC News does that too.
Yeah, oh yeah.
And,
I
and
like
you
BBC.
can tell,
Yep.
and you can tell, like if you watch BBC News, it's just dry. They're reading it. It's just the news.
Right.
Where if you
It's
watch
not-
like our news,
oh my God, it's
you can
all
tell that it's a
opinions.
It's look at what happened today. Where the BBC guy would be like, today a bomb exploded in this tunnel.
Right, and
Don't
there's
take
no,
this train.
Well, and that's the
Like,
thing
there's-
too. There's
there's
no
fact.
opinion.
They're not
And ours is all
sensationalizing it,
opinion.
nothing.
Yep, ours is all like, oh my God, isn't this terrible? Let me tell you about it.
And then
Whereas
there will be
theirs is
4
like, this is what
interviews with
happened.
Joe Bob on how
Oh,
bad the
for
tornado was.
Fuck's sake. Yeah, like every time anything happens in war, they find the one fucking army wife who's like, I have one tooth and I'm going to tell you while I'm standing in my bathrobe in Walmart that this is just awful.
I can't believe they sent him over there.
Yeah, who the fuck are you? Go home, put on clothes. Jesus Christ.
That's a whole nother thing. What the fuck with
It was
Walmart
no
and
clothes.
God
Oh
damn it.
my God. What
And
is
the
the generation
funny-
that does this?
The funny thing is, when I see the older people doing this, I'm like, you motherfuckers would have slapped me if I tried to leave the house with that.
Exactly. Oh yeah. I'd
Put
been
some
in so
pants
much
on.
Trouble. Yep.
No,
and
I
now,
feel weird
ugh.
going outside in pajama pants. Like I know
Right.
it's acceptable because they're like
know.
sweatpants.
Yeah. But it's
They're
weird.
like sweatpants.
Yes.
Yeah.
You go to the gym, like this is PT gear, and here's the problem. I know I have problems. But first of all, my parents would have slapped me if I wasn't wearing appropriate clothing, actual clothing,
Yeah.
outside. And then with the military, since I was like 19, oh my God, it's PT gear. You got to put on a belt, and there has to be pants. You need to have shoes. You need to tuck in your shirt. Holy fuck. Like, you can't do this shit. Like, the other day, we decided we're going to run to the grocery store. So I go to change clothes. I put on jeans and a shirt, like a normal.
Oh, he
like,
doesn't.
Oh my God!
Yeah, no.
We're
I know
like-
him. He's not gonna.
He's wearing slippers and
He wore
sweatpants. and
fucking Carhartts to work
and I'm
back in the
like-
day when we were
I'm
in
like-
high school.
But I looked at him and he looked at me and it was great because he goes, "Is that what you're wearing?" And I'm like, "What?"
Oh, Sherman, why?
I'm
Oh,
like,
man.
"Is that what you're wearing?" And the thing is, I don't care. That's fine. But it was just like, oh yeah, that's a culture difference too. Wow,
Little bit.
But it was just like, huh. So even within our group, because we're the same age, but
Yeah.
totally different life experiences,
Oh, yeah.
it's like, you're going to go outside like that? And he's like, you had to put on clothes for this? Like,
He'd have done that before your experiences split, though.
well, yeah. Well,
mean,
but my
He was
Tessa-
thrilled in high school when he discovered he could still wear his Carhartts in the building, and he was like, I don't even need pants now.
Yeah, well, that's about right. Well, like Tessa from our high school,
Sure.
same age,
Yeah.
she has worn, since I've known her, she has worn pajamas out in public, like to like Hardee's.
Yeah.
Like back when Hardee's was the good place to eat. That's like
Which-
I'm surprised it's still open.
In a related note, Hardee's, what the fuck are you
yeah,
doing?
what happened? Jesus.
Yeah,
but
they
no,
went
she'd wear
downhill
like
so fast.
she'd wear like fuzzy pajamas,
Yeah.
and I'm like, what are you doing? Your mother said that was okay? Are you sure she saw you before you left? Like, I'm like totally in shock. But she's like that. She's always done that. And then she got a job where she never had to wear clothes. So she's
So she's a stripper?
Oh no, sadly. No, not that kind of job. No,
Oh.
she was a truck driver, so she wore
Oh, yeah, all right.
pajamas
Shit,
all,
whatever the
every
hell she
day.
wants, yeah.
That was her uniform. She wore pajamas.
Why not?
And sweatpants and sweatshirts and never had to you don't have to wear clothes. Like I've always had work where I have to wear something uniform-esque. So, like, even at headquarters, I had suits. You wore a business suit. You wore a business suit.
Oh, yeah.
tucked
If you
in
were
your
at
shirt.
headquarters, you would.
And training, any sort of training. Every time the
Sure.
Marine Corps had me travel to train, I wore business suits. It was never an option. It's never even a thought. I'm not going to show up in pajamas. Now, they can show up in pajamas, but I'm not showing up in pajamas. It's like, it just never would have entered my mind.
Yeah.
And then the grocery store happened this weekend, and I went, huh, maybe I'm missing something. Maybe I should wear No.
I know what you're missing.
Sweatpants?
Comfort.
Yeah.
Apparently. I
there's
don't
that.
know.
Yeah,
I had
like-
no clue. Like, I didn't know that was okay.
Try it one time. You might like it, but then you just get
I'll
into
stay in
that.
the car.
Yeah. I can't go out.
I'd get there and chicken out.
I can't go out.
I'd get there and be like, no, I can't do it. I can't do it.
See, I've always bucked that one. I hate uniforms. I hate dressing up. I mean, I'm thrilled because my work, this is what I can wear
Yeah.
to an office environment in a
Regular
big company.
clothes
Yeah, just a
is
t-shirt
so
and jeans.
nice.
See, jeans
I hate
love.
it. Like Wednesday, Thursday this week, I need to dress business casual, and I don't want to.
Oh boy.
Business casual. I used to run a hotel and wear button-ups and shit.
What is business casual? What is
Slacks
that?
and a t-shirt.
Yeah,
Slacks and a
button-up.
button-up shirt.
Yeah,
Is that really business casual?
yeah, pretty
Yeah.
much. Yeah, you
It's
don't have
without
the tie.
a tie. Yeah.
So what's after that? Formal,
business.
Business.
which is just
Like a
dressed
coat
up.
and a tie.
Yeah.
slacks and
There's a little weird area where it's just a shirt and a tie, no
Right.
coat, but yeah,
that's strange.
yeah.
I don't know. Well, yeah, I've never really had a job where
Well-
you'd actually dress up like that, which is strange.
I got invited to a Christmas party.
Yeah?
Okay, now
Uh-oh.
you got to think. I've
Did he-
This is my background.
Did he
so-
not wear the Carhartts?
No, he didn't actually.
All right, cool.
He wore slacks. I almost
Holy
passed out.
shit.
It was so great. He almost didn't make it out of the house. Anyway,
Whoa.
so it's too much. Too overshare. Sorry.
No, whatever.
But on the invitation, there was no dress.
How to dress.
Like, so I've on every invitation I've ever gotten as an adult, there's a little thing at the bottom that says attire, and it tells you what the male and the female shall wear.
That's because you were
Military.
involved with the military.
Right.
Yeah.
So I'm looking at this
Now you're lucky to
invitation,
get the
panicking.
time.
Well, I'm having a fucking panic attack because I'm like, oh my god, oh my god, and I just keep flipping it over, hoping it'll appear, and there's nothing. And I'm like,
Is it invisible ink? What the fuck?
It's like an etch a sketch. Oh,
is
fuck,
it
it's
there?
gone.
Well, so I asked him, what do you wear? Well,
Oh God.
you could wear this, or you could wear that, or
You're
you
lucky
could
he
wear...
didn't say
and I'm-
lingerie.
Well,
He probably did start with that.
so, but I'm like, that's not an answer. That's like 4 different categories. What am I supposed to buy? Like, what do I have? What do I need to do?
What am I supposed to buy?
Well, so
That's the gender difference there. You're like, what am I supposed to buy? I'm like, I'll put on a button up and some pants.
Well, and
whatever.
all my clothes are in storage. I
Well, there
have
is that,
7,000
I suppose.
different kinds of gowns
that's
and
right.
attire. I just can't
Yep.
find it. So I'm like, I don't know what the hell I'm supposed to wear because I'm thinking, well, if it's like a business casual kind of Christmas party,
Yeah.
I'll wear like slacks and a blouse like I wear to work.
Sure.
But then he describes it, and it's like an event.
And
Like
he's
it's
overselling it.
at a country club, and it's all like fancy. And I'm like, I'll just get a cocktail dress. That fits everything, right? The black cocktail
You can
dress
wear
fits
that
everything.
pretty much
anywhere.
wherever. I would
Yeah.
say-
She's saying cock. That's all I'm hearing.
I'm sorry.
I don't know what's going on here.
It's back to those mini wieners.
Yeah.
And the
Cock
Viennas.
The Viennies.
The Viennies.
And I
Yeah,
said,
so
is that where you're
fucking
going to
around.
go when you take a vacation? You're going to go to Vieni? Enjoy that.
I want to see the fucking the dude on the phone. The travel agent is like,
The where?
what?
I think that's in Thailand.
Is this a prank fucking call?
Where are you from, sir? I'm from the South.
Oh, shit. This could
let me
be
get
anything.
my southern translator on.
Hey, Joe Bob, come here.
Just slurs and mouth mumbles. Oh, you'd like to go to the north today?
right.
Okay, we can do that.
Yeah,
It's okay. They'll be nice to you.
Well, and thank God I wore what I wore because that's what everybody was wearing. I'm like, holy shit,
Well, good
you're
call.
big. Like, but
And then you
seriously.
punched him on the arm, and you were like, "You motherfucker! You've done this for years. You couldn't tell me this."
Right? And so I said to him, "What do you normally wear?" And he's like, "Well, I don't know. You don't remember what you wore last year?
Well, that's
Is this
not
another
really.
event that you really? This is the one time a year you put on slacks and a button-up shirt, you don't remember that? You blacked out. You try
wouldn't.
to delete
Maybe.
it out of your memory because it's so horrific.
Yeah, we don't want to do that.
Oh my God!
This is a different place you've gone to now.
It was
We don't have to do that, so we don't want to do that.
Well, it was very entertaining. It's
I
just,
bet.
it's a funny though. It's a funny. So the age gap between
Oh, yeah.
the husband and I wasn't so prominent because I was trained well as a young adult to fit into that lifestyle.
Yeah.
Whereas now we have no age gap, but like 2 months.
But there's
and I'm
no
like, what the
instructions.
fuck are you doing? And he's like, what the fuck are you doing? And I'm like, this is weird.
Instructions unclear. Dick stuck in chair.
Yeah, no kidding.
It's like, what?
I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, so it's been interesting. I don't know. I'm not sure how I feel about it.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, it's weird
That's
though.
really.
Yeah, but we're the same age,
Yeah.
so
You keep using finger quotes, but you are.
No, I'm 29. He's just not.
It's a consistent
Yeah.
29.
He's not.
No.
So where do you think the next generation is going to end up going? Like, everybody's going to say,
Space.
Straight to hell.
fuck, I hope so. Elon Musk is doing some cool shit.
Oh, well, no, slow down. He's become a supervillain now with his flamethrower.
No.
Right? I've seen so many pictures of him with that flamethrower and then the Hank Scorpio from The Simpsons with the
Yeah.
flamethrower.
Jeez.
That's so fucking cool. Elon Musk is
Right?
such a badass.
Yeah.
I'm going to sell flamethrowers and some boring fire extinguishers.
Yeah.
You don't even need them.
You want a flamethrower? $500. Let's do this.
This is so fucking weird.
There's people in California, representatives that are pissed about it. It's like, just deal with it. It's not like a full-on flamethrower. It's like a big lighter. Deal with it and have
I
fun.
know. It's
Well.
just like it's silly. I like it.
It
because
looks
it's
like a
silly.
gun, so they're upset.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's fucking great.
But for Gen Z, I think that we're gonna end up doing the same thing that the baby boomers have
Are
done.
doing to us, yeah.
I'm pretty sure we will, because as people age, they get a little bit more conservative in their ways. The generation coming after us, they're going to be a lot more liberal. That's just how it works. That's what happens, and that's what progress is all about. It's just
I'm hitting that point myself,
everything.
honestly.
Yeah.
Where
I
like
know,
more
you
and more,
can-
I'm noticing like I'm probably gonna get shit for it, but the whole like shithole thing with Trump.
now. See,
I don't get as much anger about that.
Yeah.
There's a difference in that, and I think that both parties have done this a little bit. They've taken on opposing views. The countries themselves are shit.
Yeah,
They really are. The people
are not.
Right.
Yeah,
But both sides can't parse between the difference of that.
Yeah.
The really far left are looking at it as, well, they're calling the people shitholes.
Yeah.
Well, no.
which doesn't even really work.
I mean, it's right. Like, it's the country's shitty because the country's just shitty. It's
Right.
a shitty place to live.
Yeah.
Like, it sucks.
Yeah.
Like, however, we should not stop those people there from coming here. That's kind of the point of fucking America,
Right.
is that we allow that to happen because that helps our culture
Well,
as a whole.
That's
It's better,
how we got here.
right? It's better to be
we
a
fled
melting
from
pot.
Poland. Like, we fled
Yeah,
from
somewhere in
Poland
there.
because we were getting attacked again. We were getting taken over again. So
Yeah.
my
fucking
great
Poland
grandmother
gets
fled
fucked.
here from the most conquered country. Yeah.
We're number one.
Woohoo! Wanted something. Never mind. But that's why we came
There
here.
goes
We
the
went
Polish listener.
You know what I mean?
Fuck
though?
that shit.
Well, it's not. Whatever.
Not wrong.
They're just getting the joke now.
Yeah.
We'll give it another 5 minutes.
Another 5 minutes, there's gonna be somebody coming in being like, "This is my house now. Get out."
Damn it!
Fuck. But yeah, I mean, that's how we got here. That's how everybody that I know got here, except for the Native American friends that I have.
Yeah.
Everybody else fled from another country.
I don't
They
know,
came here to have the American dream, to try to live a better life. Like, I
With
get
that,
there's
though,
so many
there
of
needs
us
to be
now.
more security on it.
Yeah, well, there needs, to be a better
background checks
screening
and stuff.
system.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not
and
saying
and
there
do the
should be,
stuff
right.
that they already have in place.
Right. But do it
it's,
thoroughly.
It's just like with guns. They have some stuff already on the books to do with this, but they don't do it right, so they want to restrict it more.
Right.
How did we get to?
We were
So
talking about what
generations.
Generation Z was going to be and
Yeah.
how
Right.
they're getting a little bit more
I don't
liberal.
know.
But I agree. We're as our generation, and I can see it myself too. I'm getting a little bit more conservative. Maybe it's not that I'm getting a little bit more conservative, but I'm holding on to the values that I have currently
Right.
a little stronger.
I can see that.
I think we should allow ourselves to change with the times and see where everything's going to go. Society's going to end up changing anyway, so we might as well change along with it, because the stronger that we hold on to our own values, the more that we're holding back the next generation.
Yep.
The problem I see with that, though, is the more we change and the more we do adapt to all the values, how much of ourselves are we going to lose going there? If everything's going the wrong direction and my values are this and everything's going to shit, I don't want to just be in the crowd.
Well, no, that's fair. That's a fair point, but
But
what
that's
determines is what is shit.
But that's where the problem lies with this. You don't know, like you're seeing it from your point of view. You might not know that their point of view is better.
Oh, no, absolutely. I agree.
You might just be constantly thinking, fuck these guys. I'm out.
Put it into the terms of marriage itself.
Oh my God.
Hell.
Exactly.
Do we have to
Had
get
this
your wife?
conversation. Like, seriously though,
We'll go get
I
her.
literally just had
But-
this conversation like 2 days ago with my super Catholic friend.
And what it comes down to is who fucking cares? Are these people in love? Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
That's all that matters.
Yeah.
Right.
But the previous generation overwhelmingly doesn't see it as that. They see it as marriage as definition by whatever it is. Doesn't really matter whether it's dictionary, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
That can change. It should change if two people are in love.
Sure.
Let them be married. That's something that our generation has done.
Right.
Yeah.
That is good, and it's continuing to change and become more accepted. I agree 110% with that. The previous generation was holding rights away from people.
Oh, yeah.
But they didn't see it as that. They were holding as family values, which
Right.
aren't family values. As
But that's
pertains to who?
And the definition of family has changed so much. It has just evolved because family could mean so many things now, whereas before it was a husband and a wife and their kids. And that was it. That's your family. That's your core family. Now, I don't know.
And
I
that-
have friends that I consider more sisters than my sisters who I haven't seen since I was like 9. Like, I have people in my life that I trust so much more than I would trust a family member, but I consider them more family.
Oh, yeah.
And I don't know. Well, look at a person who marries a woman with 3 kids, takes care of the kids, divorces her, they're not his kids, and he continues to take care of the
Yep.
kids that are not his
Yeah.
because that's his family.
Right.
It's your
I got family in the cities
definition.
that's not related to me. That's my stepdad's family.
Right.
I go down there every Christmas.
And that's your family because it's a
Sometimes
not
those
so
are the
much-
better ones that
They
because you
are.
had to pick them.
yeah. It's
I mean, not so much
much
with his family because my mom picked him, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Right.
They're still in my life because they're good people.
right, and they are your family, and it's not so much a this is your family and that's it anymore. It's now we have opened our minds because of this generation to realize that you can have more than just the wife and the kids. You can have your sisters and brothers
Yeah.
as well. Look at the military.
The guy you've been bitching about all night is pretty much my brother. That's how I see him.
What's
And
bitching?
yeah, a little bit.
Oh, come on. That was hilarious.
He's just gonna look at you and be like, "Really?" when he listens to it. So,
He does that now.
well, that's true.
That's good.
There's a bit of confusion there usually too. But the thing with what you guys are saying, the whole, with marriage changing and all that, the thing that strikes me the worst with that, or the most, or however the hell I'd say that saying, is the generation that's bitching the most now is the generation that had to get divorce included and stuff. So they had to change it once already, and
Right.
now they're bitching that it's changing now.
Right.
Because all of these people, like, how many...
You have to think that change was super negative, though.
Yeah.
That change impacted their culture so negatively, and
And-
they don't see the goodness that could come from like same-sex marriage because their mind is skewed. Change to marriage is negative.
Yeah.
So I think that's frightening
But
to
like,
them.
if you think about it, and I'm trying not to make it sound negative, but think about all of your friends.
Mm-hmm.
How many of your friends' parents divorced? How many of them got remarried? How many people do you know that went through that their life is better now than them struggling through with the first marriage and being pissed off all the time?
Right. And at which point, why would you not want that for somebody else to have
Right?
a better life? I mean, it's selfish of the person who's holding that back to look at them and say, well, it sucks to be you, but my definition of what you guys want, no, you're going to have to follow suit. Like, fuck off.
Right?
Nah, that's not how this works. This is life. There's too many variables to be. I mean, everybody's going to be fucking unhappy. Give us a shred of happiness.
Right?
right.
Now, I think that this whole change and, society is going to change and us holding our values and looking more conservative as we get older, a lot of the fight in it is also along with the what we're seeing of the younger generation. So, like, if I got a bunch of kids coming to me and saying, hey, this isn't working for us anymore as a society, we want to do this, it should be good. But the one kid in that group that I pay the most attention to is the one eating Tide Pods. I'm not going to pay attention to what they're asking.
Right.
That is true.
Yeah.
The louder the idiots are, the more likely you're to pay attention to them and
Yeah.
group everybody into one thing.
Yep.
And that's the problem with the whole generations
Yeah.
stuff with millennials and that is
Oh, yeah.
they're seeing these idiots. They're thinking, well, these idiots are coming around. They want gay marriage. They want this. And they're not, they might be on the fence, but then when they see these idiots, they're like, that's not how I want society to go. So I can't be for what they want.
Yep, because they don't think
True.
the rest of us have thought about it. They
Yeah.
think that the idiots that are amplified in social media and the news are the ones making these decisions for us as a whole. And they don't realize we've seen it, we've thought about it, we've talked about it, we have friends who want to do it.
Yeah, we have
or
people going
done it.
through it.
Yeah, like that's yeah. And this is the problem with any sort of segregation into generations or color or whatever, race, anything, is that you are pigeonholing all of us and labeling us. We don't need to be labeled anymore.
Right, based upon the actions of one person.
Yeah,
Like,
or a small handful.
yeah.
Yeah, I got the fat label early on, so I'm hoping for another one. Just saying.
Damn it.
Hey, I was blonde
Or a
and Polish. Don't even
cheeseburger. I
start.
don't know. Blonde and Polish.
Yeah, it never went well. So
Yeah.
many jokes. Oh my
Yeah,
God.
sorry about that. I might have influenced that a bit or pushed that along.
That's okay. I'm used to it.
That's a good rhetoric to push. Blonde Polish. Oh man. Well, you think we guys are? You think we're done for the evening?
Yeah, I think so. I
Yeah.
mean, we pretty much just keep hammering the same stuff
Yeah.
over and over.
Well, and
so.
I don't think Gen Z is going to be any worse off than we are. I think they have more information because there's more technology. They know how to use it better, faster, smarter.
I'm a little
we're-
worried about that. That's
Yeah.
really just the thing.
Well, I'm worried because I sometimes think that our technology makes us dumber. It definitely
Oh, yeah.
affects our interpersonal relationship skills. So I think customer service is going to have to be a trained thing instead
It
of
already is.
instead of a right, like when I was a kid it was this is how you treat people, this is what you do, this is how you greet them, this is how, like, it was very
Oh, yeah.
clear.
But
there's handshake and there's a this is the
I can give you
greeting
examples
and-
of that, though.
Yeah.
When we were in high school and we went to McDonald's, your training was basically, here's a grill, here's how you use
Right,
it.
do it.
Here's the register, here's how you use it. There
Right.
was none of the interpersonal stuff.
Yeah.
If you look now, they have a TV in the back and they have to watch videos on how to interact with people.
Yeah, it's like
It's the same at
greet
my work,
them.
too. It's like we have a script on what to say to people we call outbound calls.
Yep.
I don't even work call center and I'm supposed to read off a script when I'm calling another insurance company. Never do. Sorry. Hope my boss doesn't hear that. But it's just because they're so used to people that can't function like that. They can't do that. They don't recognize that they're talking to another person and that they need to be this way with them.
Right. You need to actually interact, not text.
And that's
Although, wouldn't that be interesting to order somewhere?
Oh, I
Just
wonder if
walk up and be like, beep, beep, beep.
they got that.
I mean,
now.
they had that
like,
at Sheetz. It was awesome. I loved
well,
that.
McDonald's has an app you can order and just go up to
And
the
just walk
drive-thru.
in. Yeah.
Do
Oh,
you-
cool.
Do you think
It's
the
weird.
scripted thing is a little bit more for we want to hurry the conversation along, or we don't want to risk the information getting muddled between
Some of
how
it-
we're supposed to understand it and interpret it?
Some of it, yes, but when the script specifically says I'm supposed to answer the phone, hi, my name is such and such from this company. If I got to be told how to answer the phone,
And it's not an
Well-
example, it's a directive.
yeah,
It's fucking retarded.
Well, now, to be fair, the Marine Corps has always had that.
well, I mean, that's a whole different
Always.
kind of crazy.
And it's always the same glob of information that
Yeah.
how you answer the phone.
Yeah.
So
and
that-
hotels have that too.
Yeah,
I
so-
always used to get written down on that when I worked overnights because they're like, you didn't stick to the script. And I'm like, it's 4 a.m. Dude doesn't want me to ask why he's coming here. He wants me to make the reservation and hang up the phone so he can go to bed.
Right.
So is it maybe it's just they're trying to train in the formality of such rather than natural conversation?
Some of it, yes. Some of it, no. Because even like at McDonald's for like those training videos and training videos I've seen at the hotel, they're training you to be nice to the person
Yeah.
and courteous and all that because they're assuming that we're just going to sit there like this and be like, what do you want on our phones?
Well, I did go to Culver's and the kid never even talked to me.
Oh, yeah, I've had that.
I stood there and he stood there and I stood there and he stood there and I blinked at him and he blinked at me and I fucking left. Like, there was not even, hi, can I help you? What would you like? Nothing. Like, I'm like, okay. And I just
He was
left.
just slow.
He was an idiot.
I rolled up. I rolled up to the KFC once, and I even wrote a letter to corporate. This is how pissed I was. I rolled up for the drive-thru. I was picking up food because Rhonda was working the shift before me, and I was taking over at the hotel. So I was like, "I'll bring dinner."
Yeah.
And I roll up, and I'm sitting in the drive-thru for like a minute. And this was the KFC in Superior, so there was
boy.
5 people working and nobody eating there. So nothing was going on. So finally they answer, and I hear the speaker kick on, and I hear, "What the fuck do you want?" And I'm like, "Really?" So I could get joking around, but you're pretty retarded to hit the button and then say it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, I would like some food. That's kind of what I came here for. And
I came to the KFC.
Guessing you
for
shouldn't.
KFC.
Yeah, I'm guessing you probably didn't mean to answer like that, but you probably should have thought about that a bit more.
Oh, God.
Yeah,
That's a fair point.
and that's the people that those videos are for.
Right.
Right, but again, that's a select few. I don't think everybody's like that.
Well, yeah, but especially now, that select few is the ones we see on the media. Like I was reading an article this morning about an Outback. I don't even know where it was. They kicked out a cop because somebody complained because he had his gun in uniform. They said they didn't feel safe because
Oh
cops
my
are shooting people.
God.
An
So,
Outback?
Yeah, an Outback restaurant.
Oh, restaurant. Oh.
Nope, in Australia.
Yeah.
That's a no.
Yeah, no, Crocodile
Subaru-
Dundee booted the fucker off the island.
Subaru Outback?
In his Outback, he was told.
I suppose you would have gone the car road.
Talking about?
No,
Car
no.
had a gun? What's it holding up? Like another car dealership?
It was just the backfiring. They thought it was a gun. There's a video of a Honda and cops thinking it's an AR. But
Yeah.
anyway. But no, that's... I roll out of bed this morning. That's the news article I see about Outback. The one idiot that fucked the whole company. And that's why they have these videos. It doesn't matter that it's a minority anymore. The minority is the one that we're paying attention to because of the way that we're spoon-fed media.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true. Stupid gets television.
Oh, yeah. Well, it's been that way since what? Carson? Or no, Letterman. Stupid pet tricks? Stupid human tricks?
Yeah, yeah.
It's been like that for years.
And unfortunately, it's a race to the top.
Yep.
Well, all
And
right.
only the floaters get there.
God damn, doesn't it? That about covers it for this week's episode. We hope that you found it a little more fascinating than watching spaghetti being cooked, paint drying, or digesting paint chips. But I'm pretty sure that's what you just might be doing. So I do have Poison Control's number. It's 1-800-222-1222. You can find us on Twitter and Instagram at A Topic a Month. Join us our horrid Facebook page and group at A Topic a Month. And if you're really into bad podcasts, you can donate $1 an episode or $1 a month on our Patreon page at patreon.com/A Topic a Month, or throw us a $5 and get a sticker. So that's pretty awesome. Our donations still stand. If you'd like, we can give it straight to a local charity. Thanks, and have a good night.